Hello everyone, this is Dave, and this is going to be a short video with some background noise because the window is open and it's very hot and some cars are going by. But let's give it a quick look. So as I mentioned, we're going to go through Pathways online and book materials a lot more from the coming week. So I'm going to make companion videos in which you can listen to me giving answers at home. This will be additional practice for listening, and I would like you to comment on the videos. So very quickly, Bob Mason has too much blank in his life. He is unhappy at his job because he works long hours, and he has a negative blank toward his boss and coworkers. He also doesn't get enough sleep, and he eats too much. Because of these bad blank that Bob will soon develop health problems. Overeating, for example. Blank, a number of serious blank like diabetes. Bob's doctor wants him to change his lifestyle, starting with his blank. A typical dinner for Bob, blank, steak, French fries, and ice cream. Bob's doctor wants him to eat more fruits and vegetables instead. Fruits and vegetables blank, important nutrients and vitamins. These also help blank diabetes and other illnesses. So our possible responses are diseases, provide, stress, consists of, diet, prevent, is likely, causes, habits, and attitude. Bob Mason has too much blank in his life. I think maybe, first off, I would say stress. He is unhappy at his job because he works long hours and he has a negative blank toward his boss and coworkers. He has a negative attitude. He also doesn't get enough sleep, and he eats too much. Because of these bad habits, it blank that Bob will soon develop health problems. It is likely. Overeating, for example. Blank a number of serious blank like diabetes. Overeating, for example. Causes a number of serious diseases like diabetes. Bob's doctor wants him to change his lifestyle, starting with his diet. In Japan, people often think diet means to reduce weight, but in fact, diet can also mean just the food that you eat every day, your dietary habits. A typical dinner for Bob consists of steak, French fries, and ice cream. Bob's doctor wants him to eat more fruits and vegetables instead. Fruits and vegetables provide important nutrients and vitamins. They also help prevent diabetes and other illnesses. So I hit submit. We find that all of those are correct. Bob Mason has too much stress in his life. He is unhappy at his job because he works long hours, and he has a negative attitude toward his boss and coworkers. He also doesn't get enough sleep, and he eats too much. Because of these bad habits, it is likely that Bob will soon develop health problems. Overeating, for example, causes a number of serious diseases, like diabetes. Bob's doctor wants him to change his lifestyle, starting with his diet. A typical dinner for Bob consists of steak, French fries, and ice cream. Bob's doctor wants him to eat more fruits and vegetables instead. Fruits and vegetables provide important nutrients and vitamins. They also help prevent diabetes and other illnesses. Okay, so let's try next activity. Oops, did I go twice? I did twice. Let me just make sure I didn't miss one. Yep, that's the one I already did, so gotta make sure not to hit too many times. Okay, vocabulary. Choose the best word or phrase to complete each conversation. Click Submit to check your answers. Mohammed, you're from Turkey, right? What food do Turkish people usually eat? What foods do Turkish people usually eat? Well, the Turkish diet consists of plenty of vegetables, bread, and meat. I've heard that a good way to prevent health problems is to exercise a lot. That makes sense. Fit, Strong people are usually healthy too. Your grandmother looks really young. How does she do it? She has a lot of healthy habits. She exercises a lot, eats well, and has fun with her friends. Why do they bring pets to this hospital to visit the patients? Well, the patients enjoy seeing the pets. It helps them to have a positive attitude about life. Did you know that stress leads to a shorter life? Really? In that case, I need to relax more. Cancer is a terrible disease. I know, millions of people get sick with cancer every year. I get colds all the time. You should add more vitamin C to your diet. Eat a lot of oranges, for example. Jamie smokes a lot. That's not good. If she doesn't stop soon, she is likely to get diseases like asthma or even lung cancer. You really like yoga, don't you? Yes, I do. I like it because it provides the opportunity to stretch my muscles and exercise at the same time. Your office looks really nice, but why is your desk so high? This is my standing desk. I like to stand up when I work. Spending too much time sitting down can cause health problems, you know? Let's see how we did. And it looks like we got them all correct. So, next activity. Listening. Listen to Dr. Molina's podcast. Choose the correct words to complete the sentences. Click Submit to check your answers.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Luis Molina from the Dale Medical Clinic. Today, I'm going to talk about ways to prevent and control diabetes. Diabetes is a disease that makes it hard for the body to produce insulin. Our bodies need insulin to break down glucose or sugar in our blood. Therefore, diabetics, or people with diabetes, get high levels of blood glucose or too much sugar in the blood. Diabetes is one of the world's most common diseases. Over 400 million people are diabetics. There are two main types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2. With type 1 diabetes, your body cannot make insulin at all. Type 1 affects mostly young people. With type 2 diabetes, your body can't make enough insulin. People of any age can get type 2, and it's more common than type 1. Both types can cause blindness, heart disease, and other serious health problems. So, how can we prevent this terrible disease? In some cases, unfortunately, we can't. Some people probably get diabetes because a parent or grandparent has the disease. However, in many cases, there are things we can do to stop people from becoming diabetic. Research has shown that unhealthy lifestyle choices, such as being overweight and not exercising, are likely to cause the disease. This means many people could prevent diabetes by making changes to their lifestyle. So, if you are overweight, try to change your diet and lose a few pounds. Eat more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Eat less red meat, sugar, and fat. And of course, eat smaller portions. Try to exercise regularly. I recommend 30 minutes of physical activity 5 days a week. This doesn't have to be strenuous exercise like running or biking. Walking is fine. If you already have diabetes, eating well and exercising will also help you to control the disease and live a normal life. Keep in mind that these activities affect blood glucose levels, so carefully check your own glucose levels before you do them. High blood glucose levels can damage your nerves and organs, and low blood glucose levels can make you feel sick and weak. This means you need to keep your blood glucose levels steady, not too high and not too low. So, put a drop of your blood onto a test strip to measure its glucose level before you eat or exercise. If your glucose level is already high, don't eat a big meal and don't exercise. These activities will make the level go up. If your glucose level is low, you should eat to raise the level. But if you plan to exercise, don't eat too much. A healthy snack is enough. So remember, a healthy diet and regular exercise can help you to prevent diabetes. And if you already have the disease, it can help you control it. Just don't forget to be careful and check your blood glucose levels often. Thanks for joining me today. Next week, I'm going to talk about...
Okay, that was a nice little sample podcast about diabetes. You may have noticed that I was able to answer all of the questions quite a bit before the recording finished, and I think that sometimes happens. You might think you have to listen to the end, but the answers have already been given to you before the end. So once again, diabetics have too much glucose in their blood. In type 1 diabetes, your body can't make any insulin. Making lifestyle changes can help many people prevent diabetes. To prevent diabetes, you should lose a little weight. Dr. Molina recommends that people walk for 30 minutes 5 days a week. If you are diabetic, it's important to keep your blood glucose levels steady. And Dr. Molina says that diabetics should test their blood glucose before exercise. Let's see how I did. And it looks like I got them all correct. Yay! Let's check next activity. Listening skills. Listen for main ideas. Listen to each part of the podcast. Then choose the main idea of the information that you heard. Click submit to check your answers. To review the skills, click the PDF icon. So we can take a look at the PDF icon, and that will show us. Listening skills. Listening for main ideas. When listening to a talk, you need to be able to identify the main ideas. The main ideas are the speaker's most important ideas or what the talk is about. Here are some techniques you can use to help you identify main ideas. Listen carefully to the beginning of a talk. Most speakers will mention the main idea in their introduction. Listen for repetition. Speakers often repeat key words and phrases to emphasize their main ideas. So let's give it a shot.
There are two main types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2. With type 1 diabetes, your body cannot make insulin at all. Type 1 affects mostly young people. With type 2 diabetes, your body can't make enough insulin. People of any age can get type 2, and it's more common than type 1. Both types can cause blindness, heart disease, and other serious health problems.
So what is the main idea? Type 1 diabetes affects mostly young people. That is not a main idea. It is an idea that's there. It's a fact that's there. Type 2 diabetes is more common than type 1. Diabetes can cause serious health problems. There are two main types of diabetes. So let's listen one more time.
There are two main types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2. With type 1 diabetes, your body cannot make insulin at all. Type 1 affects mostly young people. With type 2 diabetes, your body can't make enough insulin. People of any age can get type 2, and it's more common than type 1. Both types can cause blindness, heart disease, and other serious health problems.
So all of these are in the listening. I'm not quite sure if they want this to be the main idea or this to be the main idea. Diabetes can cause serious health problems are very important, and there are two main types of diabetes. But I think the main point is there are two main types of diabetes. Let's see if I got it wrong. Oh, maybe I have to do all first? It's not working. Maybe I have to do all first. What is the main idea? To prevent diabetes, change your diet. To prevent diabetes, exercise regularly. To prevent diabetes, make changes to your lifestyle. Doctors recommend 30 minutes of exercise 5 times a week. I'm guessing, even without listening, this will be the main idea. To prevent diabetes, make changes to your lifestyle. All of the others seem like facts that lead up to this main idea.
Many people could prevent diabetes by making changes to their lifestyle. So, if you are overweight, try to change your diet and lose a few pounds. Eat more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Eat less red meat, sugar, and fat. And of course, eat smaller portions. Try to exercise regularly. I recommend 30 minutes of physical activity 5 days a week. This doesn't have to be strenuous exercise like running or biking. Walking is fine.
Okay. And what is the main idea? If you have diabetes, eat well and exercise, but check your glucose levels. High blood glucose levels can damage your nerves and organs. Low blood glucose levels can make you feel sick and weak. Exercise affects your blood glucose levels. I'm going to guess this is the right one.
If you already have diabetes, eating well and exercising will also help you to control the disease and live a normal life. However, keep in mind that these activities affect blood glucose levels, so you need to carefully check your own glucose levels before you do them. Why? High blood glucose levels can damage your nerves and organs, and low blood glucose levels can make you feel sick and weak. So, don't forget to make sure that your glucose levels are not too high or too low before you eat or exercise.
Okay, let's go back and just double check all three. The main idea: type 1 diabetes affects most young people. Type 2 diabetes is more common than type 1. Diabetes can cause serious health problems. There are two main types of diabetes. I'm really not sure about this one, which is the one that they want. To prevent diabetes, change your diet. To prevent diabetes, exercise regularly. To prevent diabetes, make changes to your lifestyle, which incorporates both. Doctors recommend 30 minutes of exercise 5 times a week, which is about exercise as well. If you have diabetes, eat well and exercise, but check your blood glucose levels. High blood glucose levels can damage your nerve and organs. Low blood glucose levels can make you feel sick and weak. Exercise affects your blood glucose levels. Let's see. First one I might have got wrong. Let's check it out. And, I got it. Okay. Because I was, with this one, what is the more important thing? Because there are two types, but the serious health problems can also go with both of those two types. So I was really curious what they were looking for there. And as you can see, sometimes even a native speaker and a teacher might not be sure what a particular test or textbook is looking for. But I got lucky that time. Okay, instructions, pronunciation, final S sound. Listen to the sentences. Pay attention to the final S sounds in the underlined words. For each sentence, choose the correct option. Click Submit to check your answers. To review final S sounds, click the PDF icon. Let's do that first. Pronouncing the final S sound correctly is important in communicating clearly. For most words, an S or ES does not add a syllable to the word. Our, ours, like, likes, provide, provides, habit, habits. If a word ends in an S, or these other sounds, an S or ES sound is pronounced. For example, bus, buses, wash, washes, exercise, exercises. Okay. So.
1. It's one of the most common diseases in the world.
2. Diabetes is a disease that causes high blood glucose.
3. There may be ways to prevent diabetes.
4. Stay away from unhealthy foods.
5. Eating and exercising both make your blood glucose levels go up.
Sorry, I keep getting messages from someone. Don't think it's too private, so no worries.
6. Research has shown that unhealthy lifestyle choices are likely to cause diabetes.
Let's see how I did. Oh, yay, I got them all correct. So, diseases adds a syllable. Causes adds a syllable. Ways does not add a syllable. Foods does not add a syllable. Levels does not add a syllable. And choices adds a syllable. Okay. This next activity is not available on this format, so I'll just skip it. Instructions, grammar, expressions of frequency. Read each pair of sentences, then choose the correct sentence. Click Submit to check your answers. To review the grammar, click the PDF icon. Grammar of speaking, expressions of frequency. There are many expressions to talk about frequency. Here are some. Once, twice, 3 times. Plus an hour, day, week, month, year. Frequency expressions can come at the beginning or end of a sentence. I exercise 3 times a week. Twice a year, Anita takes a vacation with her family. We also use every to talk about frequency. Every plus hour, day, week, month, year. Monday, 6 months, 5 years. Every Saturday, we play tennis. I go to the dentist every 6 months. We use questions with how often to ask about frequency. How often do you visit your grandparents? Twice a year. How often does Michael go to the gym? 3 times a week. So let's try. Choose the correct sentence. Every Friday I go to the movies. Every Friday go to the movies. So this would be correct. Choose the correct sentence. Polly goes to the doctor 2 times a year. Polly goes to the doctor twice a year. Choose the correct sentence. We go to Mexico once 5 years. We go to Mexico every 5 years. My husband eats chocolate cake in a week 3 times. My husband eats chocolate cake 3 times a week. Choose the correct sentence. How often do you go swimming? How often you go swimming? How often do you go swimming? Choose the correct sentence. I talk to my boss once an hour. I talk to my boss once an hour. Choose the correct sentence. Twice I go skiing in a year. I go skiing twice a year. Choose the correct sentence. I 4 times a week go to the gym. I go to the gym 4 times a week. Yay, correct. Grammar expressions of frequency. Look at Jeff's calendar, then choose the best words to complete the sentences. Click Submit to check your answers. To review the grammar, check the PDF icon. Okay, so this is the same one we looked at last time. Okay, so Jeff plays tennis. Let's see, where is Jeff? Plays tennis. Once a week, Jeff plays tennis. Jeff plays soccer. Jeff goes to a concert. Jeff goes to English class. Jeff visits his brother. Jeff goes to the movies. So once a week, Jeff plays tennis. Jeff plays soccer every week. Jeff goes to a concert twice a month. Jeff goes to English class 3 times a week. Every 2 weeks, Jeff visits his brother. Jeff goes to the movies 3 times a week. Oh my goodness, what did I screw up? Let me see. Jeff plays soccer. Twice a week. I only looked at Sunday. I screwed up. And then Jeff plays tennis. I thought it was once a month. Doi. It's only here, right? Yeah. That's my mistake. Ho 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 ho. Once a month, twice a week. Naruhodo. Naruhodo. I think I'm getting tired. Let me get a drink of water. And here's a video. How many people in Asia choose to be stung by bees? Well, why? Ugh, I need sleep. I can't read at this time of night. Why do people in Asia choose to be stung by bees? They think it will make them look younger. They think it will cure illnesses or disease. They enjoy the feeling of being stung. I think it's this without even watching it, because it'll be like Botox. But let's see what it is.
Today, in parts of Asia, people from all walks of life are choosing to be stung by bees, often dozens of times in one sitting. Shorong Chen is battling multiple sclerosis, a disease which slowly causes the body's nerves to deteriorate.
For 6 months, I was bad.
So I don't even need to finish it. They think it will cure illnesses or disease. So we can already tell that they don't enjoy the feeling of being stung. And I could tell from the beginning, because there were even children and young people being shown, it had nothing to do with looking young. What happens to the bees that Mr. Chen uses for bee therapy? Let's find out.
I could not move. I would have symptoms of tingling and numbness in my hands. It was excruciating pain.
Then, Shorong heard about bee sting therapy. For help, she turned to Mr. Cheng Yi Chen, bee sting therapy master, a trained master who has practiced bee sting therapy for 12 years. Every week, Mr. Chen and his assistants treat 200 patients and sacrifice 6,000 honeybees. The results, he says, can be astounding.
After 600 bees, you will look 5 years younger than your contemporaries.
But can bee stings really help Shorong fight multiple sclerosis? She began an intensive course of therapy, receiving over 200 stings a week for months on end. Honeybees only sting once, and they die soon after. But even separated from the bee, the stinger continues to inject venom into its victim. The body responds with a flood of histamines and white blood cells. And soon the area becomes hot, red, swollen, and itchy.
He gives me one sting. I don't even have time to feel the pain before he stings me again, and the pain lasts for 1 hour.
Many think it is based on the 5,000-year-old practice of acupuncture, a proven treatment for pain. Although today Mr. Chen sees bee acupuncture as a labor of love, even he once considered it taboo. In fact, like most of us, he was afraid of bees. 30 years ago, Mr. Chen was an executive for a textiles company. Then his wife began to suffer from arthritic pains so severe she couldn't cook or even stand up straight. Western medicines didn't do much good, but when she told her husband she wanted to get stung by bees, he thought the idea was ridiculous.
Naturally, as an educated man, I was against it. We just did not understand bees.
But Mr. Chen completely changed his mind when he saw his wife's sudden improvement.
After 3 months, her red blood cell count increased. Her headache disappeared. I was so surprised. I decided to dive into this mysterious treatment and to collect all the information that I could.
Mr. Chen vowed to devote his life to bringing bee sting therapy to others. After 6 months of bee sting therapy, Shou-Rong Chen has seen a dramatic change. She insists the therapy has relieved her multiple sclerosis and given her a new lease on life. While most Western-trained doctors would likely say her illness is in remission, Shou-Rong is convinced the stings have helped her walk again. It will take years of study before we'll know whether bee stings can relieve arthritis or multiple sclerosis, or even the common cold. But whether Shou-Rong's recovery is in her head or her hands and feet, for the first time in more than a year, she feels she can resume living. A therapy most of us would find taboo is allowing her to face the future with renewed hope.
Interesting, strange thing. So I got those right. No mistakes that time. And this activity is also not available on an iPad. And lesson B. Maybe I'll stop with lesson A and we'll make this our first video.